You mentioned that you went into labor and delivery this week, and you're 33 weeks, you were having contractions, they were picking up like 6 an hour, and you got sent home, so that's good. Hopefully you didn't have your baby and you're still pregnant, but you're wondering if this may continue until you're full term, and it's very possible. A lot of people contract and don't even know it. When they come into the hospital, we put them on the monitor and we say, do you feel that contraction? And then they're like, oh, well, I guess I do. And they put the two together because before then they didn't realize that what they were feeling was a contraction. Sometimes you feel contractions, but once we put you on the monitor, you're able to get like an objective view of how often they're happening. And you can also do this at home by just timing them from start to start. When you start to feel a contraction, you write down the time it begins and then write down the time the next one begins, and the difference between the two times is how far apart the contractions are happening. When you're preterm or less than 37 weeks, we want you to come in when you're contracting 4 to 5 times an hour, which is only every 10 to 15 minutes, because at that point, hopefully we can stop them or at least slow them down and make it so your cervix doesn't change. That's the whole point. The actual definition of preterm labor is your cervix changing as a result of those contractions. But it is possible to have a lot of tiny little contractions here and there. They're very irregular, not really painful, but more uncomfortable, and have them not change your cervix and have them until you end up going into labor when you're further along. So what you're looking for are signs of preterm labor, signs that it's getting worse than what it's been in the past. Use past experience and compare it to future experiences to help you to know when it's time to go in. Look for lower abdominal cramping, lower backache, abdominal tightening, pressure. Those are all symptoms associated with contractions. So if you're having those pains that are coming and going, then you're contracting. And again, if they're happening more frequently or more intensely than what they've been happening in the past for you, then it's time to go get checked, because you can't know if your cervix is changing without going to the hospital and being seen. Also look for any leaking of fluid, which might mean your water's broken, any vaginal bleeding, and increase in pressure. Also an increase in discharge associated with the pain. Those two are signs of preterm labor, and my motto at the end of the day is, when in doubt, get checked out. Don't hesitate to go back and be seen if you have questions or concerns, because again, we can't tell if what you're experiencing is concerning or exciting once you're further along unless we see you. Good luck with everything, and if you have more questions for me in the future, feel free to ask them on our Facebook page at facebook.com/InnerMountainMoms, and recommend us to your friends and family too.